All right, picking up where we left off. For sine, cosine, and tangent, remember, what did you guys put up there? Yeah, exactly. Just, what have you seen me do? Write it on the top of every darn page that I'm running into anything related to a trig function. Just want to say about this number 17, those of you who got your quizzes back today, well, everybody got their quizzes back, but some of you might be wondering why you got a point off. Like when you're looking at this right triangle, you should have found this triangle's missing length in order to put it into the ratios over here. And so when you do the sum of the squares on the legs, you find out that the hypotenuse value is 34. So add up the squares, take the square root, find out that the hypotenuse value is 34, and then I want you to go use that in your ratios. I want you to use it. So the sine of angle Q is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. You can reduce this. What would this be? 15/17, I believe. Cosine. You can try. Yeah, I'd like you to. Why not? If you're looking at it, and you can use MathFrac on your calculator as well. Cosine of Q, adjacent over hypotenuse, 16 over 34, 8/17. Tangent of Q, tangent is opposite of adjacent, 30 over 16, 15/8. Now I'm going to go look at angle R. Why isn't there anything about angle S, you guys? Because it's 90, sure. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse, 16 over 34, 8/17. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, 30 over 34, 15/17. And tangent of angle R, opposite over adjacent, 16 over 30, 8/15. Now, let's go use our trig ratios to solve these problems here. In number 17, all we had to do was write the ratios out. Now let's go use them. Number 18, I have an angle 54. I'm looking for the side opposite of it, and I have the adjacent side. So I'm going to use a tangent ratio on 54 is equal to x over 9. 9 times the tangent of 54 would give us x. Undo that divide by 9 by multiplying by 9. X is approximately 12.4. Number 19. Yeah.
Do you want us to reduce the decimal? I mean, no, on the top part.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try.
Or,
Please.
all right, thank you.
Yep, I'd like to see you try. 19. Write out what you start with. Then if something goes wrong, I at least can see that you know what you're doing. Number 19. I have this angle. I know the side opposite it, and I'm looking for the hypotenuse. So I'm dealing with a sine ratio here. Sine of 46, opposite over hypotenuse. X times sine 46 is equal to 24. Multiply both sides by x to get it out of the denominator. Now I'm going to divide both sides by sine 46, 24 over sine 46, and that's approximately 33.4. Notice how I wrote what I was going to do and then just kept going and simplified it down to 33.4. Number 20, I have the angle 27. I have what's opposite to it, and I'm looking for what's adjacent to it. Tangent of 27 equals opposite over adjacent. I'm going to multiply both sides by x to get it out of the denominator of the right side. I'm going to divide both sides by tan 27 to leave x alone. And when you find that, you should have 25.5. 21, I know the angle 35. I have the hypotenuse and the adjacent related to it. It's going to be a cosine. Cosine of 35 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. 21 times cosine of 35, multiply both sides by 21 to get it out of the denominator, is going to give me my x value. X winds up being approximately 17.2. 22, I'm looking for an angle. I'm going to have to use an inverse operation, inverse one of my trig functions to the -1. I have the opposite and the hypotenuse. Sine x equals opposite over hypotenuse. And with what we have, with our undoing techniques, we're going to wind up with sine inverse of 23/24 would give us our x. and that's going to be approximately 73.4. Make sure your degree marks are there. We know that's a measurement in degrees. 23. Again, we're going to wind up with an inverse. We have opposite, we have adjacent. Tangent of x equals 10 over 13. The inverse on 10/13 will give us our x. X is approximately 37.6 degrees. When we know the ratio and we want the angle, we use the inverse trig function. Number 24, we are looking for x, and inverse again, opposite and hypotenuse. Sine of x equals 30 over 39. I want to do the inverse sine on 30 over 39 to get the x. X is approximately 50.3 degrees. Number 25, looking for x. That's kind of sitting in a funny spot. It's this angle here. I don't know. Whatever. It looks weird to me. I have hypotenuse and adjacent. The cosine of x is going to be 17 over 18. Inverse cosine of 17/18 will give us our x. X is approximately 19.2 degrees.